I'm going to be talking about the things that people never tell you about working and living in Dubai. Hi boss babes, welcome back to my channel. My name is Simonesanangurai. I'm on Instagram and I'm on TikTok as @bosssimone1. If it is your first time tuning in, you are more than welcome to be part of the family. And if you are a returning subscriber, you already know that I love you so much and I appreciate you. So guys, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the things that people never tell you about working and living in Dubai. There's actually so many points that are important for someone to know before they make a decision to come and stay here and work here in Dubai. But I've decided to put some of those important points into 5 points because there are a lot and it is just broad. I always talk about how the whole topic about moving to a certain country, in this case Dubai, is a very broad topic and people should not take such things lightly. There are some things that I wish I knew before I moved here to Dubai, but no one was there to tell me about them, and I also was not aware and did my research properly before coming here. So this is the whole that people have, as people we just believe that you're just gonna move to a certain country and everything is just gonna flow, everything is just going to be easy. But there are still advantages and disadvantages of relocating to a certain country. In today's video, like I already said, I'm going to be sharing 5 points that people never tell you about living and working in Dubai. Point number 1, the cost of living is too high here in Dubai. Now, this is the mistake that we make as people. Personally, this is a mistake that I made when I came to Dubai, and the first job that I got and they told me that this is a certain amount of money that we are going to be paying you. I took that job gladly and I was so happy, and I was like, this is a lot of money, because I had converted it into the currency of South African rands, because that is where I was living before I moved to Dubai. Even when I was still back in South Africa, I used to check jobs and the salaries, how much they pay, and I'll be like, I would be willing to work this certain job and get this certain amount because this is a lot of money. Not knowing that it is only a lot of money when I am in South Africa, because the cost of living in South Africa, comparing it to the cost of living here in Dubai, two different things. I would say on a scale of, I would say living in Dubai would be 2 times expensive than living in South Africa, which is much more understandable because this country is properly developed, it's well developed in so many ways, and different than some of the other countries in Africa, so it would be very different. So that is one thing that people would never tell you, that the cost of living here in Dubai is very high. That's one thing that you need to keep in mind in terms of the job selection, in terms of the jobs that you're going to accept, like the salary that they'll be paying you. Point number 2, it is becoming difficult to find a well-paying job here in Dubai. Since the pandemic hit, things have been difficult and different in all parts of the world. Now, why am I saying it has become difficult to find a well-paying job here in Dubai since the pandemic? Is because before, when I used to look for jobs and apply for jobs, I would check the salary base, and most companies were willing to hire you and offer you more as compared to when I am looking at the salary ranges that are there right at this moment. Because when the pandemic hit, the salary base went down, and some of the companies haven't recovered. Some of the companies haven't adjusted their salary base to the point whereby it was before the pandemic. It is still way down below there, and as much as the salary base is still way down below, it is becoming very much more difficult to stay in this country, because as much as the salary base is way down, but the cost of living continues to go high, prices continue to go up, so it is becoming difficult to balance. And the amount of money, the amount of salary that you receive, and you funding your lifestyle here in Dubai. Point number 3, Most jobs here in Dubai, you are expected to work 12 hours a day and only have 1 day off. Now, when I say most jobs, I don't mean all of the jobs, but most of the jobs, this is how they operate. You're expected to work for 12 hours and you have only 1 day off, leaving you with not much time to rest or not much time to go around and see the city. You'll be very fortunate if you get a job whereby you have to work for 8 hours a day and get maybe 2 days off. Now, the difference in the working hours and the days in which people get off days is between government jobs and private jobs, and also between office jobs and hospitality. Most of the times, if you are working in the hospitality, you will never get an off day over the weekends. But if you are working in the office, you definitely get your off days on the weekends, giving you more time to explore the city, explore the country. Point number 4, shared accommodation. Most of the accommodation here in Dubai is shared. Now, the reason why people opt to have options of sharing accommodation is because accommodation is very expensive here in Dubai. Now, people can stay, a person can choose to stay in a bachelor. It is fine, you can choose to stay in a bachelor, but now you have to compare as to how much am I getting and how much am I paying for a bachelor flat. So many people opt for maybe sharing with other people so that they can be able to at least save more. Because one thing you need to remember is also that you are in a foreign country and you don't have intentions of settling here. Most of the people that are here in Dubai, they don't have an intention of settling, because actually Dubai does not offer you any permanent resident. Like, it doesn't offer you any residence. Like for other countries, if you stay there maybe for 5 years or more, you end up becoming a citizen of that country. So many people, they don't have intentions of settling here in Dubai, because you can never be granted a citizenship even if you stay here for 10 years. So one thing you need to keep in mind, that you can't waste your money on accommodation. Let's say, for example, I'm just making an example. Let's say, for example, you are earning 60,000 dirhams in the whole year, and then you have to pay accommodation. For you to stay in a bachelor accommodation here in Dubai, the minimum can be 20,000 dirhams or 30,000 dirhams. So it doesn't make sense that you will pay, for example, if you are earning 60,000 dirhams the whole year, it doesn't make sense for you to pay maybe 30,000 dirhams because accommodation will be 30,000 dirhams for the whole year. So it doesn't make sense for you to be paying half of your salary, all of it, into accommodation, which is what happens most of the times here in Dubai. Point number 5, like I have already mentioned in the 4th point, that it doesn't make sense for you to pay half of your salary in accommodation. This is what happens here in Dubai. Most of the people, they spend half of their salary on accommodation, not by choice. You are left with no choice, because when I spoke about the shared accommodation, people can live in an apartment, 10 people in an apartment, or even 12 people in an apartment, where other cases are even worse, to such a point whereby in one room people can be 6 people in one room, having beds and bunker beds in the room, simply because people are in a position whereby they're saying they want to save. And then for some other people, that might not be a comfortable situation. You might say, I want to have a place of my own. Then you have to be willing to pay more for you to have a place of your own. So that is one thing that people don't know about Dubai, is that most people end up spending half of their earned money on accommodation. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning into today's video. I hope today's video was helpful to someone who is planning on intending and live and stay and work in Dubai. Now, this is an advice that I have for someone who is intending on coming here. Do not be discouraged by this video, but if you plan on coming to live and stay in Dubai, do your research and check the cost of living, so that when you are in a position of looking for a job, don't get a job that pays you less, because you end up being frustrated and you end up spending most of your salary on just paying bills here in Dubai. I hope this video was helpful to someone. I'm here to inspire and to be inspired. I love you guys all so much, and see you in my next video.